So in this video, I'm going to transform this toy into Bendy. As you know, I'm trying to do a video every single month, so this month's video is about transforming this extremely cute, maybe you don't agree that it's cute, animatronic cat. Now normally, as you know, I do a lot of my animatronics from pretty much scratch, but today I needed a quicker challenge as I don't have that much time, plus I feel like this is going to be a challenge where I do not use a 3D printer. A lot of my animatronics feature 3D printing because I find the mechanical parts a lot easier to use and have better predictability when you use 3D print, but this project will not involve any 3D printing. So I've not even seen what this animatronic can do yet, so we're gonna work out that together. This animatronic, which I bought, I believe, from eBay, came from China, and it needs 3 batteries. That's great, it doesn't even move. Imagine I get this far and it doesn't even work. You know, this didn't even come with instructions. So I have no idea I did this. So as we can see, this cat animatronic dances, it moves its arms, legs, body kind of, its head, and it sings. Now I don't really want it to sing, so I probably will remove that at some point, as Bendy wouldn't sing this kind of song. I just don't think it's very suited for Bendy, so we're just gonna get Bendy to dance. The first thing I'm gonna need to do is actually remove all of this fabric, or what I like to call the skin, of this toy. If you're inspired by this video at all, I really hope you don't have any emotional attachment to the toy that you're about to reskin, because this part gets really ugly. Now I've completely taken off everything I'm not going to use. I decided to remove the head because I saw that the head wasn't screwed in or anything like that. It wasn't going to break the animatronic theoretically by removing it. And since Bendy's head does not look like a cat, I didn't need it. So this is the parts I need. These are very similar to his feet, which is why I've kept them. So now this is where I'm going to see what still moves and what I'm going to have to incorporate into my design. So, opening up, I can see there's a speaker attached here. And I love opening these things because I really learn a lot from this. So at the back I can see there's a power bank. Then you've got a motor instead of servos that are turning these gears, which move all of these pieces at the same time. And also down here. I can also see that there are no electronics in the legs, so they weren't broken at all, they just didn't exist. And now I can locate the speaker. So far this is what we have with Bendy. This is originally actually what I did envision when I set out to do this 3-day build, but looking at how clean he looks now, and I know technically in the ink machine this is what he looks like, but I just feel like it's really missing the creepy undertones that I love about the Bendy series, so I thought we need to weather him. Now, after all the weathering, which I think you can agree really improves Bendy, I am going to test his movement. I haven't done that for a while, so this could go very wrong. So first I need to switch on his switch. Then we've got a little button down here, just near his bow tie. I'm assuming he's going to go crazy. Okay, I think it's working. He is slightly moving, which means there's not enough weight in the shoes, but all in all, he hasn't fallen over, and he looks pretty creepy, so time for the review. So, the summary of this 3-day build. Firstly, I learned that 3 days is definitely not enough for this kind of project. I know that's a very famous saying for me now if you've been following for a long time. And I guess the second most, and which is my most important point, is that in order to make animatronics still able to move, which is the biggest challenge of this, you have to use fabric if you want to keep on a budget and a time budget too. And when you use fabric, there are areas that have to remain baggy so that they can continue to move. If you have a very stretchy fabric, this can be sort of a bypass for that, but just bear in mind that most micro servos, which is what's normally used, or even a stepper motor like this one, they really do have a restriction on how much strength they are able to do before they start actually wearing down these gears, even if they are metal. So that being said, the biggest problem is actually making this look like Bendy and not just be what looks like a bin bag. Because of the material choices I chose, I knew that weight wouldn't be a problem, but again, just making sure that he wasn't too baggy or too tight was the main challenge here. So what would I have done if I had more time and more money? Well, Bendy is technically supposed to be ink, so in a lot of the newer versions of Bendy, he is shiny, and I would have loved to have replicated that. I would have done that by casting silicone and using a silicone skin and having that like glossed. But obviously that is very time consuming because you have to make the master sculpt, then the master mold, then put your silicone in, and if you want it to be like black, you're gonna have to put the colour in and make sure the colour and consistency is correct, and then make sure like the pattern and stuff during your sculpt was correct. So it's very time consuming, and if you make any mistakes it's gonna be a lot more expensive. Again, I didn't use any 3D printing in here, so you're probably wondering, well, what would you have done if you used 3D printing? I probably would have 3D printed the shoes just so I knew that they were uniformed, but I really liked the clay inside the foam because this keeps his feet down mostly, which is definitely needed for such a huge head. I could have 3D printed his head as well, but again, because I didn't make this toy from scratch, I really don't know its true strength. So all in all, this was a really fun project to do. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to do more things like this. I will slowly be adding more and more time given to these projects, so please expect cooler stuff. But hopefully if you've watched this and you don't have a 3D printer and you don't have any soldering or coding or hardware skills, this could be a really nice way to sort of bring your own creativity into your own props like this. You can even harvest parts and put it in your costume, for example, and hopefully this will inspire you to make your own thing. But if you do, please show me, I would love to see it, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be next month. Bye!